Hello guys, welcome to Victory Science Hub. In today's video, we're talking about complex numbers. Now, we are all familiar with numbers like 0, 1 over 2, minus 1, 1 over 5, square root of 2, square root of 3 over 5. Numbers like this. Numbers like this are called real numbers. We call them real numbers. But what if we have square root of a negative number? Something like square root of minus 1, square root of minus 12, square root of minus 3 over 5. These numbers are called imaginary numbers. In order for us to be able to simplify an imaginary number, a variable I was assigned to square root of minus 1. So, anytime we are solving, square root I means square root of minus 1. Now, this is an imaginary number. So if we have something like square root of minus 12, it will be easier for us to, we can be able to simplify this in terms of I, because I is square root of minus 1. So we are going to be having square root of minus 12 is what? Square root of minus 1 times 4 times 3. So that is equal to square root of minus 1 times square root of 4 times square root of 3, which is square root of minus 1 is I, square root of 4 is 2, and we have square root of 3. So this is 2 square root of 3I. So this is the simplified version of square root of minus 12 in terms of I. So if we have square root of minus 36, for us to be able to simplify this in terms of I, we are going to be having square root of minus 1 times 36, which is equal to square root of minus 1 times square root of 36, which is I times 6. So that is 6I. So this is the simplified version of square root of minus 36 in terms of I. Now we are going to be moving into what a complex number is. Complex numbers are numbers that contains both real parts and imaginary parts. So let's say Z is equal to A plus BI. This is a complex number because we have the real part. This is the real part. And this is the imaginary part. What made this part imaginary is because of I. I is an imaginary number. So A and B, A and B are real numbers. So anytime we have numbers like this containing the real part and the imaginary part, we call it complex number. Now we'll be going into some basic operations in complex numbers, which are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Now we'll be starting with addition and subtraction. So we have for addition, suppose we have Z1 is equal to 5 minus 3I and Z2 is equal to 6 minus 10I. And we want to find Z1 plus Z2. What do we do? Now we have Z1 plus Z2 solution is equal to 5 minus 3I plus 6 minus 10I. Now when adding complex numbers, we add corresponding real parts and we add corresponding imaginary parts. So what do I mean? We just collect like terms. So we have 5 minus 3I plus 6 minus this plus times this and this plus times this will give us minus 10I. So collecting like terms, we take the real part and we take the imaginary part. So we have 5 plus 6 and minus 3i minus 10i, which is equal to 5 plus 6 is what? 11. Minus 3i minus 10i is minus 13i. So the value of z1 plus z2 is 11 minus 3i. Now let's take another example. Let's say we have z3 is equal to 6 minus 11i and z4 is equal to 7i. Now if you look at z4, you can see that the real part was not written, but we can still write this in terms of the normal format for complex number, which is a plus bi. If we put a to be 0 here, we'll be having 0 plus 7i, and 0 is a real number, making making this the real part and this the imaginary part. So we have been able to put it in the normal format of complex number. So we have 0 plus 7i. So we are trying to find z3 plus z4. So z3 plus z4 is equal to 6 minus 11i plus 0 plus 7i. Now we have 6 minus 11i. Now opening the bracket, we'll be having plus 0 plus 7i. Now remember, when we are solving complex number, when we are adding complex number, we add real parts and imaginary part. We add corresponding real part and corresponding imaginary part. So we add this and this, we add this and this. So we have 6 plus 0 minus 11i plus 7i, which is 6 minus 4i. So that is our answer for z3 plus z4. Now we'll be going into the subtraction of complex number. So if we have z4 is equal to 10i minus 5 and z5 is 6 minus 2i, and we want to find z4 minus z5, what are we going to do here? Remember, in the normal format of complex number, the real part always comes before the imaginary part. So we'll put this in the format for complex number, which it will be minus 5 plus 10i. Now we have solution. We have z4 minus z5 to be equal to minus 5 plus 10i minus 6 minus 2i. So this is equal to minus 5 plus 10i minus times 6 will give us minus 6. Minus times minus 2i will give us plus 2i. So this is equal to minus 5 minus 6. Now we are going to be collecting the real parts, corresponding real parts, which will be minus 5 minus 6. I will collect corresponding imaginary part, which will be plus 10i plus 2i. So this is going to give us minus 11 plus 12i. So what do we do? Looking at z2, we have only the real part. For us to make this look like the complex number, we are going to follow the format, which is a plus bi. So 0i is still the same as 0. So we can put this as 10 plus 0i to make it look like the format of complex number, which is a plus bi. So we have z1 minus z2 is equal to 7 minus 2i minus 10 plus 0i. So this is equal to 7 minus 2i minus times this is minus 10 minus times this is minus 0i. So we take corresponding real parts and corresponding imaginary parts. So we have 7 minus 10 and minus 2i minus 0i. So this is equal to minus 3 minus 2i. Minus 2i minus 0i is minus 2i. This is our answer for Z1 minus Z2. Now these are a few exercises I would like you to solve, and I would like to see it in the comment section. Please answer in the comment section and I'm going to attend to that.